Welcome to our spine-chilling journey through the 15 scariest haunted castles in New Zealand. These historic landmarks are not only steeped in rich history, but they are also home to some of the most terrifying ghost stories and eerie encounters you'll ever hear. From lost souls wandering the halls to shadowy figures lurking in the dark, these castles are filled with dark secrets that are waiting to be uncovered. Are you ready to face the fear? Let's dive into these haunted legends. 1. Larnach Castle, Dunedin. Perched atop the Otago Peninsula, Larnach Castle is as beautiful as it is chilling. The most famous legend here revolves around Constance, the daughter of William Larnach, who tragically ended her own life in the castle. To this day, staff and visitors report encountering her ghost wandering the halls. One chilling story comes from a tourist who was exploring the ballroom late at night. The air grew icy, and she heard faint laughter echoing in the vast space. She turned around, only to see a woman in a Victorian gown staring at her from across the room. Before she could scream, the woman faded into the darkness. Others have reported doors slamming on their own and cold hands brushing against their skin. Larnach Castle remains a stunning landmark, but its tragic past casts an eerie shadow over its beauty. 2. Cargills Castle, Dunedin, a crumbling ruin. Cargills Castle sits on a cliff overlooking the sea. In its prime, it was a grand residence, but time has left it in eerie disrepair. Locals believe the ghost of Edward Cargill, its original owner, roams the site, mourning his lost dreams. One story tells of a group of urban explorers who visited the castle on a stormy night. As they climbed the broken stairs, they heard footsteps following them, though no one was there. When they reached the top, they saw a man in old-fashioned clothing standing by the edge of the cliff. Before they could speak, he turned and stepped into thin air, disappearing. To this day, visitors report hearing whispers in the wind and feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness. 3. Highwick House, Auckland. This Gothic revival house is a jewel in the heart of Auckland, but its dark tales are far from charming. The spirit of a former maid is said to haunt the kitchen, where the sound of pots clanging is often heard late at night. One visitor reported feeling a sharp tug on her hair as she toured the dining room, only to turn and find no one there. The eeriest tale, however, is of a shadowy figure that lingers at the top of the stairs. A security guard working overnight once saw the silhouette of a man standing there. He called out, but the figure didn't move. When he climbed the stairs to investigate, he found nothing but an empty hallway. Highwick House is a place where beauty and terror collide, leaving visitors with unforgettable chills. 4. Riccarton House. Christchurch Riccarton House stands as a testament to colonial New Zealand, but its haunted history is equally memorable. Built in the 1850s, it's said to be haunted by the spirits of its original residents, the Dean's family. One chilling tale comes from a guide who felt someone grab his arm as he locked up for the night. Startled, he turned, but no one was there. On another occasion, a visitor captured a photograph of a pale woman standing in the garden, though no one had been there at the time. The most unsettling experience, however, is the faint sound of a baby crying in the nursery, even though the room has been empty for decades. Riccarton House may look serene, but its ghostly inhabitants keep its history alive in chilling ways. 5. Erskine College, Wellington, once a prestigious girls' school. Erskine College now lies abandoned, its decaying walls hiding countless ghostly secrets. The spirit of a nun is said to haunt the chapel, her presence marked by the scent of incense and soft murmurs of prayer. One chilling account comes from a photographer who ventured into the building alone. As he set up his camera in the chapel, he heard footsteps echoing behind him. When he turned, he saw the faint outline of a woman in a habit walking down the aisle. Frozen in fear, he watched as she vanished into thin air. Others report hearing disembodied voices, singing hymns, and feeling an oppressive weight in the air. Erskine College may be abandoned, but its spirits remain, ensuring its haunting legacy endures. 6. Seacliff Lunatic Asylum. Ruins. Otago Seacliff Lunatic Asylum, once a sprawling mental institution, is now a decaying ruin, haunted by the tormented souls of its former patients. Many believe the spirits of those who suffered and died within these walls still linger, trapped in their own despair. One chilling account tells of a group of explorers who ventured into the asylum after dark. As they wandered through the desolate halls, they heard whispers in the shadows, faint cries echoing from the abandoned rooms. One of them, drawn by an unnatural force, opened the door to a long-forgotten cell and was met with the terrifying sight of a ghostly figure staring back at him from the darkness. Others report hearing the sound of footsteps following them, only to turn around and find no one there. The ruins are a grim reminder of a dark chapter in New Zealand's history, where the dead are not easily forgotten. 7. Waitomo Caves Hotel. Waitomo. Nestled beside the mystical Waitomo Caves, this hotel has its own eerie stories to tell. Guests who have stayed overnight report hearing strange noises, like soft footsteps on the creaky floorboards and the faint sound of laughter coming from empty rooms. One particularly disturbing tale involves a visitor who woke up in the middle of the night to see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of her bed. The figure, an old man dressed in an outdated suit, simply stared at her in silence. When she screamed, he vanished without a trace. The hotel's proximity to the caves only adds to the mystery. Locals whisper that the spirits of those lost in the caves may never have truly left, wandering the hotel's halls in search of peace. 8. Alberton House, Auckland. Alberton House, with its grand architecture and beautiful gardens, hides a dark secret. The ghost of a former servant is said to haunt the house, especially in the kitchen and dining room. Visitors have reported hearing the clinking of dishes late at night, as though someone is preparing a meal. One story tells of a woman who stayed overnight in the guest room and was woken by the sound of footsteps pacing back and forth outside her door. When she opened the door, she found no one, but the floorboards outside her room were deeply creased, as though someone had been walking on them for hours. Others have witnessed a figure in old-fashioned clothing standing by the fireplace, staring at them with an unsettling intensity before fading away into the walls. Alberton House is a place where the past refuses to let go, and its spirits are ever present. 9. Oveston Historic Home. Dunedin Oveston House. A beautifully preserved historic mansion in Dunedin is not as peaceful as it may seem. The house is rumored to be haunted by the ghost of its original owner, a wealthy businessman named David Theoman. One visitor, while touring the house, reported feeling a sudden drop in temperature as they entered the grand living room. As they looked around, they spotted a man in a black suit standing by the window, gazing out into the garden. When they approached him, he vanished before their eyes. Another tale speaks of a piano playing itself in the middle of the night, its haunting melodies drifting through the empty halls. Visitors to Oveston often describe an eerie sensation of being watched, as if the spirits of the past still linger in the rooms, unwilling to leave their beloved home. 10. Inverlochie House. Wellington Inverlochie House, a Victorian mansion in Wellington, carries a tragic and chilling legacy. The house is said to be haunted by the restless spirits of its former inhabitants, particularly a young woman who tragically died within its walls. Her spirit is often seen roaming the upstairs hallways, her silhouette visible through the windows late at night. One ghost hunter reported feeling a cold breeze and hearing soft weeping from a locked room. When they opened the door, no one was inside, but the distinct scent of lavender lingered in the air, a fragrance that was said to be favored by the woman in life. The house's grandeur only amplifies the terror, as each room holds the memory of a lost soul, trapped in the past, waiting for release. 11. Antrum House. Wellington Antrum House, an elegant 19th century home in Wellington, hides a dark and unsettling past. The mansion is believed to be haunted by a mysterious female figure, often seen standing at the top of the stairs, gazing down at those below. One particularly chilling account comes from a visitor who stayed overnight. She awoke in the dead of night to find a woman in a long, flowing dress staring at her from the hallway. When she called out, the figure vanished, leaving behind a cold, unshakable presence. Other guests have reported hearing faint whispers and feeling the sensation of being watched, especially when standing near the grand staircase. The house's quiet elegance only serves to heighten the terror of the unseen spirits who refuse to leave. 12. Godley Head Lighthouse. Canterbury. The Godley Head Lighthouse, perched on the cliffs of Canterbury, has long been associated with ghostly tales. One of the most persistent legends is of a former lighthouse keeper who tragically fell to his death while maintaining the light. His spirit is said to haunt the lighthouse, appearing as a shadowy figure near the light tower or standing at the edge of the cliff. One night, a group of visitors took a guided tour of the lighthouse and claimed to see a figure in a dark coat standing at the lighthouse's windows, staring out over the sea. When they approached, the figure disappeared into thin air. The eerie silence and chilling winds that blow through the area seem to amplify the presence of this lost soul, forever keeping watch over the rugged coastline. 13. Monte Cecilia House. Auckland. Monte Cecilia House, a grand estate in Auckland, is known for its dark history and haunting experiences. The mansion was once a place of lavish parties, but now it serves as a reminder of the spirits that refuse to rest. Staff and visitors have reported strange noises, like doors slamming shut on their own, and the sound of footsteps echoing in the hallways. One particularly terrifying account comes from a woman who, while taking a tour of the house, saw the figure of a man standing by the window, looking out at the garden. When she stepped closer to inquire, he vanished before her eyes. Others have felt cold hands brush against their skin and have witnessed items moving on their own. The house's haunted atmosphere only grows stronger as night falls, leaving visitors to wonder who or what remains behind. 14. Fiord House. Kaikoura. Fiord House, a historic house in Kaikoura, is surrounded by chilling legends and ghost stories. The house, which once served as a whaling station, is said to be haunted by the spirits of whalers who died during their dangerous work. Many who have visited the house report hearing strange noises, like the sound of chains dragging along the floor and the distant cries of those who perished at sea. One particular story tells of a man who was touring the house alone when he felt an inexplicable pressure on his chest, as if he were being watched by unseen eyes. He rushed outside, only to see an eerie figure standing at the window, watching him with hollow eyes. To this day, Fiord House remains a place where the past and present collide in a haunting dance, with the spirits of long-lost souls forever bound to the house. 15. Camp Estate. Dunedin Camp Estate, located near the famed Larnach Castle, is a place steeped in mystery and terror. Once home to the wealthy Larnach family, the estate now stands as a haunting reminder of the past. The ghost of a woman in a dark gown is said to haunt the estate, often seen standing in the gardens or looking out of the windows. One visitor recalls walking through the grounds when they suddenly felt a cold breeze rush past them. When they turned to look, the woman in black was standing in front of them, her face obscured by the shadows. As they took a step forward, she vanished into thin air. Other stories from guests speak of hearing faint cries and footsteps, as though the house and its grounds are trapped in time, haunted by the memories of those who once lived there. These 15 scariest haunted castles in New Zealand are more than just historical sites. They are portals to the past, where restless spirits still roam. Which castle gave you the creeps the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more terrifying ghost stories. Until next time, stay curious and stay scared.